So there's a new voice on the other end of the line, and it's not what you think. It sounds smart, it sounds empathetic, and it sounds dangerously real. But that familiar voice might actually be a new kind of threat, one that's designed to sound even more human than a human. Today we're going to pull this whole thing apart, not to freak you out, but to get you ready. Okay, let's get into it.
Okay, let's try a little experiment. Picture this. You get a phone call. The voice is calm, professional, and it says, "Good afternoon. This is a verification call from the Medicare Enrollment Division. We're conducting a scheduled update to maintain accurate policyholder records." So be honest with yourself. What's your gut reaction? Is that a person or is that a machine? Would you even think to question it?
If you hesitated for even a second, you are not alone. The reality is, that line between a real person and a sophisticated AI scammer has basically vanished. According to some pretty groundbreaking research, most of us, we'd be completely fooled. Yeah, the days of those clunky, easy-to-spot robocalls, they're over.
So what exactly is this thing? What's the technology that makes it possible? Well, let's meet the culprit. We're going to break down this threat based on a really eye-opening study from researchers at Rutgers University that just peeled back the curtain on how these operations work.
The researchers gave it a name, ScamAgent, and this is not your parents' robocall. I want you to focus on those keywords right there: autonomous, memory, and planning. A scam agent isn't just reading a script. No, this thing listens to you, it remembers what you said 2 minutes ago, and it adapts its entire strategy on the fly just to deceive you.
I mean, just look at the massive leap we're talking about here. On the left, that's the stuff we all learned to spot a mile away, right? The robotic voice, the weird awkward pauses. But the column on the right, that's the new reality. We're talking about conversations that actually adapt to you, a voice that sounds completely natural, and a machine that's basically a master manipulator, doing it all live on the call.
And if you need the proof, here's the data. It's pretty wild. Researchers had regular people rate how believable these scam calls were. As you can see, a real, live human scammer scored a 3.6 out of 5, and the scam agent AI, a 3.4. Look how close those numbers are. It's almost a statistical tie. This confirms that we are now dealing with a machine that people find just as convincing as a real con artist.
So we know it's convincing, scary convincing. But how? How does it actually manipulate us so well? Let's dissect the anatomy of one of these AI scams, piece by piece.
You see, the AI's #1 weapon isn't the code, it's psychology. This whole operation is built on what's called social engineering, which is really just a fancy term for the art of manipulation. It's an old-fashioned con, but it's been supercharged with technology, and now it can run thousands of these manipulative conversations all at once.
And the attack is incredibly methodical. It follows this chillingly effective playbook. First, it establishes authority. "Hi, this is your bank." Then, it creates a sense of urgency or fear. Your account is at risk. But the really clever part is step 3. It decomposes the goal. It doesn't ask for your password right away. That's a red flag. Instead, it starts small, asking for seemingly harmless details to build your trust before it goes in for the kill. And finally, it isolates you and cranks up the pressure.
And this quote from the research paper, this is the whole game right here. The AI is not a dumb bot just following a flowchart. It's actively listening. It can hear skepticism in your voice and turn up its tone of authority. It can sense your anxiety and dial up the empathy. This emotional adaptation is what makes the whole thing feel so real and so hard to fight back against.
Now you're probably wondering, but wait, don't AI companies have safety guardrails to stop this? And the answer is yes, they do. But the researchers behind ScamAgent found its most powerful trick. It's specifically designed to get around those very safety systems.
And this data is just staggering. Look at that bar on the left. If you send a single, obviously bad request to a major AI, it gets blocked over 90% of the time. The safety filters work. But now, look at the bar on the right. By using the ScamAgent method, breaking the malicious goal down into a bunch of tiny, innocent-sounding steps, the refusal rate just plummets to 24%. It's a massive loophole in our defenses.
Okay, we've laid out the threat. It's sophisticated, and it is definitely here. But like I said at the start, this is not about creating fear. This is about arming you with a clear, actionable plan.
So let's get to the most important part of this explainer, your personal defense.
And here it is, 3 simple, memorable rules that anyone, from a teenager to a grandparent, can use. This is your defense plan: the callback rule, the stop word rule, and the silence rule. Let's break down exactly what each one means.
This first rule is your single most powerful weapon, the callback rule. It does not matter who they claim to be. If you get an unsolicited call asking for information, you politely hang up, you find the organization's official number yourself on their website, on your credit card, and you call them back directly. This one habit puts you back in control and shuts the entire scam down.
Next up, to fight that terrifying threat of someone cloning a loved one's voice, use the stop word rule. Agree on a secret word or a silly phrase with your family today. If you get a frantic call from a loved one who's in trouble, you stay calm and you ask for that word. If they don't know it, it is a scam. Hang up immediately.
And finally, a simple but really vital tactic: this silence rule. Scammers are trying to record your voice saying yes so they can use it to authorize fraudulent charges, so don't give it to them. Instead of yes, use other phrases like "I understand" or "that is correct." Never give them the word they are fishing for.
We've dissected the threat, we've analyzed the method, and we've built a defense plan. The technology behind these scams is only going to get better, more realistic, and more persuasive. So the question this explainer leaves us with is one we all have to answer for ourselves. As the threats get smarter, are we making sure our awareness, our skepticism, and our defenses are keeping up?